Despite Leon showing up in Eltrix trailer, that does not mean he will be arriving as a character soon, because he show up there as a character that actually interact with you rather than the chosen one. The good thing about all of this though is that now we know, canonically, Eltrix and Leon do know each other. Eltrix is a tank, although when compared to the usual tank though, she is of a more offensive one. Most of Eltrix's skill require for her to be at full HP, and how she will achieve that is through the barrier she gained from her passive. Wappa is just a 4-hit random max, but if you at full HP, then Wappa will also break the enemy shield regardless of what the weakness is. For Gakko, if you have full HP, then you will get 2 BP back, which is useful to build up to the next barrier. For Eltrix herself, she do has a taunt where she give everyone in the front row attack boost also, and also she do has a sword nuke that get 1.2 multiplier when you at full HP, and it also hit Doc. Both of her passive are great passive. The first one will always be up all the time because assuming you're running a healing character, you will probably have some regen, so Eltrix will be at full HP at the start of every single turn. Although there's only one downside about this passive though, is that if the enemy attack Eltrix first, and she's not at full HP anymore before your DPS can attack, then they will not get the benefit of the passive. So hopefully your attacker go first before the enemy attack. And her second passive is Ivory, which will give Eltrix a barrier when she uses 3 boost points. If you want to maintain your barrier up all the time, then Gakko and Ivory do have a synergy together. After you get a barrier with Ivory, next turn you use Gakko to get 2 boost point back, and the next time to that you get an extra BP from natural regeneration, so you could get another barrier right away. And last is her ultimate, but it's just a damaging ultimate, so there's nothing special to it. Eltrix is an offensive tank. In addition to tanking with barrier, she can also shield shape, buffing attack through passive and active, and also do some damage herself, although she do have some weakness though. The first is barrier, which do require 3 boost points to gain 1, but Gakko does help alleviate this weakness a bit, but there's also a weakness to this weakness, and there's the other weakness that is also a weakness to the... Wait, what the heck am I saying? The enemy might attack Eltrix first before she can act, and it might breach to her barrier, in which Gakko need Eltrix to be at full HP for him to work. So if that happened, then Eltrix will not gain the 2 BP anymore. Although there's 2 ways to also fix this problem. Either give her an HP fortune sword that give her a bunch of HP, so her barrier give her like a lot of HP, so the enemy won't breach it pass through easily, or just give her some speed so she can act first before the enemy. Currently, again, Eltrix is the best hit tank in the game, as in a tank that take all the damage instead of dodging everything like Tressa or Field EX. She's also useful in the elite tower where if you have problems surviving against the wolf, then Eltrix will help you with that, and also shield shaping. In JP, she is super... I honestly cannot think of a situation where you would still use Eltrix too, I guess. As a hit tank, there are other options now like Grieg, or even to some extent, ring a bell with someone taunting him. And as a tank in general, Field EX still exists. And damage-wise, she is not even close to the other warrior right now in the meta. So the only niche thing I can think about Eltrix right now is that she can summon Wappa to break the Lantern Shield for Warrior EX5, so you have a faster time clearing it. And now I will compare Eltrix to Gilderoy or just most of the normal tank, as in whether is a barrier tank better than just a normal defense buff tank. In my opinion, barrier tank is better than just a normal defense buff tank. Mainly because of one big thing, is that you can time your barrier for Eltrix to even tank the most hardest hitting attack from the enemy. What I mean is sometimes the enemy will use a super strong attack like the aura attack or the boost point attack, and even for a normal tank with defense buff, it can be a bit too much for them to tank it all. With Eltrix however, you can time your barrier and put up a barrier on the turn the attack go off, and having like a 3000 HP barrier is better than having 30% defense buff. So it's easier for Eltrix to tank ultimate attack than a normal tank would be. So in conclusion, Eltrix do has competition in two other forms. One is Fuel EX Exist, and the other one is that if the enemy cannot be taunted like Yang Long, then Overbreak is better. But for a normal enemy who can be taunted, Eltrix is the best hit tank out there. But because there's too many drawback to her as a tank and Fuel EX Exist, it would be better to just save your rubies for a future character. Although in JP she has not received her 6-star and Torch Point buff yet, so maybe one day Eltrix will see usage again.